All right, today got dropped off a nice secretary here, and they just wanted it touch up and restored. They didn't want a whole refinished job. They want to keep the old patina, like even the little dents and such that we have in here. Now we're going to color all these in to match by applying an overstain, and then we'll touch up the ones that need to be a little darker with a little tinted lacquers. We'll mix them up, show you how all that goes. But we'll give it a French polish, which is basically rubbing it over with a nice shellac, and I'll teach you how to do that. And stick around. We'll watch this thing transform. This is something that you might have in your own guest room that's from your grandparents, or something that you remember as a child, or a piece that you have found at a thrift store that you would like to touch up and repurpose. Maybe sell it off to somebody else and make yourself a good profit. This is really a way to give it a facelift. So stick around and I'll show you how to do it. Thanks for watching. All right, today we're going to be using the Sherwin-Williams stain. It's just their BAC stain. It's a basic stain. Dries relatively quickly. It's a solvent-based stain, not waterborne, so it helps clean the furniture at the same time as we lacquer into these old defects. They take it on pretty well. So I'll zoom you in and I'll stain up a little bit, and you can just watch the transformation and keep it going. Thanks for joining us. Keeps you from having to touch up 100% all over and wipe it off real good. There's nothing else gonna stick. And we're gonna lacquer back over the top of this, and this will lock this all in place. And then we'll go back and touch it up. Even better yet. So let me do the other side. I'll bring you around to that. You want to get that cleaning going on, because we're going to put over a top coat of a finish over the top of this stain, and right now it is just barely biting into the surface. Right, you can see it staying wet. This stain dries in about an hour. Okay. See how it just transformed nicely? Giving it its original color, but filling in all those microscopic, those real fine scratches and imperfections. And now when we come back and lacquer it in, they'll all be gone, and it'll just look like an old distressed antique piece, because that's all it is. That is all it is. Yeah. So there you go. All right, let's do the inside of this piece and watch it transform out. The top is looking really nice. And look at how the inside just changes up. Right? Look at that. We're leaving the distresses as they are. The stain will come off of that hardware real easily. And it comes off of the original finish easy too. It's not, see how we can get it up into them cracks there? Force it up in there. Right, you got a little mark up inside. Catch these face edges like this. These get a lot of use over the years. And this just helps blend it all in. Do your side walls. Right? Yep. Nice. That's how you do it. Nothing to it the way we do it. Okay, when you're going to do next to leather, get you a nice rolled edge or any surface like this. You can't tape this stuff because it'll pull off the color that's already under there. So this is about as close as we're allowed to get. So, sorry if you wish it was closer. My body won't let me. That's what I'm going to tell you. My body says, no thanks. We will leave it close. Close counts. Even if it isn't horseshoes and hand grenades. Right? Look at it. Nothing to it. See? And you can do the same thing. I'm not doing anything. I'm just doing this for a living. Right? You see how these raw spaces are really soaking that stain in. And that's what we're wanting it to do. If you do get stuff on your unwanteds, get it off of there immediately. Right? Because I do want to get close, but I don't want it that close. You know what I'm talking about. There you go. Look. There you go. Now, after that's set up a second, look at that. Get in there, wipe it out. Hold the piece. Hold your horses, horse. That's what I'd say. Yeah. And again, this gets 90%. 90%. You can see all the stain that's really coming back off. There's nothing to hold it. If you would like it to catch a little more stain, you can give it a light scuff sand with maybe a 320, something like that. And then it would adhere to those scratches and give you an extra color tone. And we're going to tone this off in a little bit of red here in just a moment. So stick around, you'll get to see this whole thing transform. But look at this, it already looks 100% better. Right? You see where it got a little light somewhere down the love? We'll touch that all back up, blend that right back in, make it look like it was meant to be. So yeah, here we go. Keeping it going. This is as fast as it goes, right? I'm gonna take the key because I don't want to color it. All right, now we're staining up the face of this. And this is just to get in those little fine cracks and scratches. This is all coming off. 99% of it. Right? Good time to go over all your drawers and even these little top edges. You can see where they get their little discoloration, right? See all that stuff? It really makes a nice difference when you're presenting it. If you're going to refurbish these up for somebody else that doesn't have the time or the skill sets that you do, this is how we do it, right? There's nothing to it. Right? Nothing that you can't do that I can do. It's just I just do this for a living. Now all those little micro scratches now are filled in. Okay? And they've had a little chance to set up. And I'll come back over and touch them up even better. Let's even bring this in. See it on both sides. Yeah, again, nothing to it. Okay. Look at that. Beautiful. And when we get this all lacquered up, she's gonna shine as brand new. And you want to kind of reverse your process, leaving everything about the same amount of time as it took you to put it on. Take it off. Otherwise, maybe the bottom doesn't get, oy, oy, oy. I knew that went in there like that. Right? You want everything to match everything to soak in at the same amount of time. And don't worry about putting on too much. Do it one segment at a time like we did here. I did one panel, worked on it, did the other panel. Looks like I missed this little trim inside these drawers. Let's hit that. I can see that looks a little hokey. You guys should have caught that and yelled it out. If you saw it, yell it out in the comments. I think it needs to be said. It's like, oh, you missed a spot. It's okay. I'm not perfect. I don't expect you to be perfect. Even when I think I am perfect, I think I'm just beginning. So there you go. I'm only the teacher as far as I know. Then I got to go on to somebody else and teaches me. Because there's always somebody better. Don't forget that. So now the rest of the marks that we have on here, we're going to go back over and touch them up with a hard line, like these edges right here that couldn't take stain so good. Maybe a couple of these small spots. We'll brush that lacquer in and that tone in by mixing in some pigments with lacquers and actually drawing it right back in right over the top. And then I'll hand lacquer it. So stick around and I'll show you how to do that. Considered fringe polishing. It's a forgotten trade. So stick around.